I was walking into my class, ignoring the crowd of females who were pestering me with questions. "Come on, Ryan, we all know you like him," Mina screamed at me. "And we all know you like Kirishima. Your point?" I smiled at her as her face turned even more pink. "We know you like Katsuki Bakugo." "If I liked Katsuki, would I do this?" I asked and turned around and grabbed the closest male to me and kissed him. I squinted my eyes and saw Midoriya staring at me with wide eyes. I pulled away and wiped my lips. "Oh, and by the way, Bakugo and I are cousins." I smirked as I saw all of their faces change expressions to mortifications. I turned away from them and winked at Midoriya, and took my seat as I waited for Mr. Aizawa to walk in and lecture us. The whole time I felt a pair of green eyes burning holes into the back of my head, and I couldn't help but smirk to myself. I'll have my ways with him. As class soon ended, and I signaled us to go to lunch. "Hey, Midoriya, can you help me with something?" I asked as he was the last to leave. "Yeah, sure, Ryan. What can I help you with?" he asked, looking into my eyes. "Oh, well, I was just wondering if you'd..." I placed my hand on his chest and bit my lip as I looked at his lips, then up to his eyes. "Like to help me tonight. I'm struggling with the stuff Professor Mike is teaching us, and I know you're smart, and I was wondering if you could tutor me." I gave him puppy eyes and slightly dragged my hand from his chest down to his abdomen. He gulped and started sweating. Yes, I'd love to help." I smiled and took my hands off of him. "Oh, thank you so much, Midoriya. It means a lot. I'll wait for you after school. Then we'll go to my place." Sounds good." He smiled back at me, sweat running down his forehead. I waved goodbye and we went opposite ways. I couldn't help but smirk to myself, preparing for what will happen tonight. "You can just drop your stuff wherever." I smiled as I made my way upstairs, and he followed close behind. We made our way into my room, and he got out the school books and sat silently on the floor. I smiled at him and started unbuttoning my uniform to change. What are you doing?" he shrieked as his whole face turned red. "I'm changing. It's not like you haven't seen it before. When Mita burned off my uniform at the sports festival." I noticed his face was completely red as I finished taking off my shirt and skirt, show my lace bra and panties. I bent over to grab some shorts from the bottom drawer. I could hear Izuku gulp, and I felt his eyes on my body. I smirked as a thought came to mind. Crap, all my clothes are in the wash. I completely forgot. I closed the drawer and turned around to face the boy, who is now a tomato and sweating. "You can use my shirt if you want it." "I would thank you." I smiled at him and sat down in front of him on my knees. He unbuttoned his uniform and took it off along with the undershirt that he handed me. "Thank you." I pushed my body forward subtly and lifted my hands up, putting the shirt on. Antagonizingly slow, then I felt hands on my waist, which made me stop putting it on. I held the shirt in my hand as Midoriya looked up with me in luscious eyes, as his eyes moved up from my waist and to cupping my breast. Thank you guys for watching this video. There will be a part 2, and I will actually tag the creator of the story. This is not my story, for I found it on Wattpad, and I have no clue what's going to happen next. I'm kind of scared because my sister was in the room just now. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.